Welcome to Link Academy. For today, we're going to reproduce that figure you're seeing at the right corner of the screen. That is a tangency problem. That is problem, I think, 14 actually. So we want to reproduce that figure. So for us to reproduce that figure, there are some things we need to have. As you can see in front of you, all these instruments are the important instruments we need. So let's start to reproduce that figure. My first task now is to study that figure. As you can see the figure in front of you, large this way. There's a circle, there are three circles there. As you can see those three circles. As you can see my arrow indicating the three circles. 1, 2, and 3. So my first task is to get a starting point. I will start from this circle you are seeing my arrow indicating. So let's start by drawing a center line. So with the help of my T-square, I'll use my T-square to draw a center line. A center line is represented with a long one, short one. So doing that, I'll be having this long one, short one, 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 long one, and then short one. Right? So my next task after this is to take my T-square this way, tangential to my set square, tangential to my T-square, and draw a vertical line. So such that to move with the center line, long one, short one, long one, short one, long one, short one, long one. As you can see, what I have, this is the center line for that circle you see my arrow indicating. Now, next up, what I just need to do now after this. So, this is center point for that bigger circle. Now, if you observe closely, the distance from here to somewhere here is going to be 152, right? So I'll measure 15.2 from this point here to this point is 15, right? This is 15.2. Then let's say this is from here to here is 2. So here is the actual point. This is the actual point here. At that point, you take your set square, you draw a long one, short one, long one, short one, long one, short one, long one, short one, long one. So I've established the point for the two circles. Now for me to get the third circle somewhere up here, here is the idea. From this center, there's an height of what? Of 10, that's 102, that's 10.2, right? So I'll take my compass, I'll measure 10.2 from here to here to this point is 10.2, right? At this point here, strike an arc this way. So you can see my arc. Next up, have one consider that from this center point, there is an height to that. The circle will be somewhere here. So there's an height of what? 146. That is 14.6. From here to somewhere here is 14.6. I will place it at this point, then cut the arc. Where the arc cut is where my center of that third circle will be, right? Where that circle will be. Now let's start with the first circle at this point. The first circle has some dimensions. As you can see in front of you, the bigger circle here, as you can see, has 76 as diameter. So I need to get the radius. That becomes 76 divided by 2. I have 38. So measure 38 from this point here to this point, 38. Now at this point here, draw the circle with a thick line. I have it this way, right? I haven't considered this. There's a smaller circle inside this one. which has a diameter of what? 38. Right? So simply divide 38 by 2, I have 19. So I will measure 19. From this point here to this point is 19, 1 meter rule. At this point here, I will draw that same circle. Now what do you observe? These two circles are sharing the same center. So we call this a concentric circle. Whenever two circles share the same center, we call it concentric. That's another idea you need to note when it comes to technical drawing. So I've drawn these two circles. Next up, I need to draw a circle is here, which has a diameter of 50. So, which I will divide into 2, I will have 25. So from this point here to this point is 25. At this point here, I will draw a thick circle, 25. So I've successfully done this, right? So I haven't considered this. I should draw this circle, which has a radius of 25. Now, there's what you need to note. This point here is that last destination of the circle we want to draw. This is the first circle, second circle, and the third circle will be somewhere up here, which we have gotten the point to be this. Now, at that point, there's a smaller circle of what? That smaller circle. As you can see, the dimension given, bosses diameter 50, drill 25. Drill is what? Diameter 25. So for the bigger one, which is boss, is diameter of 50. So measure 25. So 5 from this point here to this point is 25. At this point, draw a thick circle this way. Make sure it's sticking. After that, the smaller circle is called a drill. It is given to be what? Diameter of 25. So measure 12.5. 12.5 from this point to this point is 12.5. At this point here, draw another circle this way. Next up, having draw all the circles, next thing you need to do is that if you observe closely, there is an arc that connects these 2 points together, right? And that arc is an external arc. So whenever you see an external arc, from our previous video, we said you had, you feeling, right? So that becomes the diameter for this bigger circle is what? So the radius is what? 25. So therefore, 25 plus that given radius of that arc is what? 76. Rather, so 76. So just 25 plus 76, I will have 101. So I'll measure 101. That's 10.1. From here to this point is 10.1. At this point here, this one, I will strike an arc this way. I'll strike an arc this way. Next up, the diameter for this one is going to be what? It's going to be what? We said that the diameter was 76. So we divided 76 by 2, we add 38. So 38 plus that given radius, which is what? 76. So I will have 114, that is 11.4. So from here to here is 11.4. From here to this point is 11.4. As you can see in front of you. I'll put it at this point here and cut the arc. So where the arc meets is at this point. So at that point, I will gauge the circles, right, touch each other. I will gauge it to touch each other, right? So if I gauge it well, I will gauge it. So doing that, I'll have this. As you can see, after my gauging, I have successfully drawn that arc at the back, as you can see. Next up, if you observe closely, very well, if you observe, this circle here, you have drawn the circle here, but if you observe closely, there is an hidden circle that is not really shown. As you can see, my arrow indicating the radius. That circle is outside of radius of what? 50. So as you can see, my arrow indicating that dimension for that circle. So measure 50 from this point here to this point is 50. At this point here, draw a faint circle. That circle, you will not be able to see it. A faint circle. As you can see my faint circle, let me draw it somehow thick a little bit so that I can see. But if you are drawing, you need to draw it with a what? Faint line. I just sticking it so that you can see what I'm doing. For seeing sake, you can see that this circle here must be faint, such that you'll be the only one to see it, right? So you have this. Now, if you observe, there's a big tummy, right? As you can see, there's an arc like a big tummy at this point. So that arc is given to be what? Radius of what? 152. What's the idea? The idea is very simple. We said this circle has a radius of what? Radius of what? 50. So this 50 minus 152. 152 152 minus 50, I will have 10.2. That's 102. So we have 10.2 from this point here to this point, 10.2. At this point here, put it up. Take it 1. Take it 1. Now next up, the diameter for this one is 76, right? So 76 divided by 2 is what? 76 divided by 2, I have 38. So I use 38 to draw the circle. Now 38 minus 152 minus 152, I will have 114. So 114 is my value. So that's 11.4. From this point to this point is 11.4. At this point here, yes, at this point, cut that arc you have drawn. So they meet at this point. At that point, extend it down and gauge it. Right? I will extend it and gauge it such that it will touch each other. So I'll be having this. As you can see, I'll be having this. Let me show you. I'll be having this, right? So I have connected these arcs together, right? So what is my next procedure I'm going to apply here? The next idea is that I'll take it this way. I've successfully drawn this. I've drawn the circle here, the arcs and the arc here. So if you observe closely, there is like, let's say it looks like banana, but not actually banana. Just look in shape of banana, right? So we want to establish that figure. So if I want to do that, I need to take it this way. The side from this center point, there's a radius of what? That is 85. So I'll measure 85. Meter rule 85. From here to here is 85. I'll use to draw what? A center line, that is long one, short one, long one, short one, long one, short one. Right, as you can see, long one, short one. I've drawn that. Right. So if you observe, there is I'll use my meter rule. From this center point to this center point, there's a line connecting it, and this center point, I'll connect with my meter rule to do that. So draw it long one, center line, short one, long one, 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 short one. I have this. Next up, to this long one, short one, long one, short one, long one, short one, long one, short one, long one. So I have this. Now where this meets here and here, if you observe closely, there's a circle here of what? Radius of 18. So I'll take my compass, I'll measure 18. So from this point here, this 15, 17, 18, 18, right? So to this point is 18. At this point, I will draw a semicircle this way, right? At this point, this way. Similarly, at this point, I'll draw it this way to cover it up. So I have this. So having drawn these two, I'll come to my center point here. I will extend it such that this must close. I'll close this to this. As you can see. Next up, I will extend this man here to this one point here. Now close it to this. Close it to this. So having closed this two parts, we are almost getting to the end, right? So next up, if you observe, there is a line um, connect. There's a line connecting um, this point here downward, Abby, which is inclined to an angle of 30 degree. So I will take my 2 square this way. This is 30. Like this is 30. So I'll take it down this way. For people that have a longer 30 degree set square, it's very easy for you. So just take it down this way. Make sure it's tangent to this circle here. So make sure it's tangent. Take it down. Let's see. Take it down this way, right? As you can see, take it down this way. Next up, then just continue. Take my own down this way. Continue it down this way. I see that. Next up, continue it down this way. So where it meets, let's continue this line. Long one, short one, long one. It meets at this point. At this point here. At that point, simply means there's an angle of what 30. So this is angle of 30. We have successfully drawn out. So you can see. So the next challenge here is that we need to take our compass. So we're going to make use of our compass. So how do I go about? If you observe closely, there is an arc of what? An arc of 30 here, somewhere here. Sorry, arc of 25. So it simply means that having established this 30, I need to establish out 60. So simply means that I'll take my set square this way. Let me show you this way, right? So at this somewhere here, you can see somewhere at this point where it means this, take it upward. Take it upward this way. This is 60, right? Take 60 upward that way, such that I will close this with a thick line. You come to this point here, extend it down to this point, and ensure that place is closed. So I have this. So this is my 60 this way, right? That's my 60. I will establish that 60. So next task is that I will take my compass. You can see, right? So at that you said there's an arc of what? Arc of what do you call it? 25. So measure 25 enter row from here to here 25. Now at this point 30, I will draw a arc this way. So such that I'll come to this point and cut that arc. Right? Cut it this way. Use my 60 to draw a line this way, right? So this is my 60. We did that initially. Now after doing that 60 down this way, right? So my next task now is that I will take in this point to this point. From this point here to this point will be taken, right? So next up, I need to establish for the 25. As you can see, this is of 25 curve at this point here, right? So I will take my 25 from this point. I've measured 25. Let me show you. From this point here to this point 25. So at this center where 30 touches, I'll take it down this way, extend it down to cut this point here. So when it's cut at this point, I will strike an arc somewhere here, right? So where it's at this point too, so where they meet, I will connect it to touch that point this way. As you can see, so I've done that. What did I just do? I mentioned 25. From this point here, take it this way, right? At this point, extend it to this point and this point downward. Next up, at this point, draw an arc this way. At this point, cut the arc. Where the arc now cut, extend your compass to that point here and you gauge it. You have this. Similarly, you will now take your pencil to thicken this line here. To thicken, right? It's a straight line, well thickened. So we have successfully draw what you're seeing at the right corner of the screen to be this. So let's dimension this. To dimension it, it goes this way. So we have successfully replicate that figure you're seeing at the right corner of the screen to be this. If you have found this class helpful, do not forget to click on the subscribe button and like. Thank you and welcome to Wise Link Academy.